Mr. Chairman, nasa atin po yung kopya ng mga affidavits, no? And I suppose the affidavits, the new affidavits na pinasa sa atin ay ginawa sa harap ng prosecutor because I saw the signature of the prosecutor. Now, question lamang po, Mr. Chairman. It seems that dito sa mga affidavits na bago, yung team leader ay nag-submit din ng kanyang affidavit. Kung titingnan natin yung mga affidavits na to, na kung i-analyze natin, lumalabas dito sa mga affidavits nila na yung una nilang narrative, yung una nilang kwento ay gawa-gawa lamang. No? Because they have issued another affidavit saying that the original affidavit which they executed was out of a for protection for all the members of the team that apparently conducted the buy-bust. Pinasinungalingan po nila ngayon itong totoong nangyari dahil sila po ay nagbigay ng bagong affidavit. Ito ay isang inquiry lamang, parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman. Kung titingnan mo, parang ano ho mangyayari dito sa sino ho ang punot dulo, sino ho yung ugat nung pagsisinungaling dito sa nangyaring operasyon na ito. At sa aking paniwala, this person should be made accountable. Because perhaps this is not the first time that he has done this. Siguro, baka isang beses, dalawang beses, o more than 10 times, no? Wala hong parang lumalabas lahat to, parang wala hong nagtuturo kung sino ho yung may utak doon sa scheme o doon sa first narrative na kanilang ipinalabas, no? Sa pamamagitan ng kanilang pagpasa nung una nilang mga affidavits. So, second, Mr. Chairman, dapat po meron ding managot dito sa paggamit ng ebidensya. Yung Camry, Toyota Camry, na kung saan ay supposedly ito ay ebidensya sa isang krimen at ito ay nasa impounding area, pero ginamit po sa isang police operation. Hindi ho ito bago. Alam ho ito ng ating PNP na kadalasan na ginagamit, no, for their operations, yung mga sasakyan, motor o gamit na nasa kustodiya ng ating kapulisan bilang ebidensya. Now, we all know that there is a corresponding crime that has been committed by using all this evidence. And there is a corresponding penalty for this. So, Mr. Chair, I suggest when we write the committee report, let us include the culpability or the accountability of the person who allowed these illegal things to happen. Para lang ho makonsider natin sa ating committee report. Ngayon lumalabas kasi na lahat na nag-execute ng bagong affidavit, wala na hong tinuturo kung sino ho yung may utak. So, yun lamang ho yung aking tanong, Mr. Chair.
Actually, parang nabasa ko yan dun sa issued by DILG, yung sa command responsibility ni DILG Secretary Angelo Reyes, if I'm not mistaken. So, doon magpo-fall yan yung command responsibility. But, of course, it's up to the regional director, provincial director to give the appropriate penalties in accordance to the participation of the different members of the operating team. The most important thing is we were able to establish that there was some deception doon sa affidavit ako, I don't want to sound like I'm weak, na parang ito nga yung sinasabi kong predicament ko kay Congressman Acop last night yung, di ba? Luckily medyo this man is strong alam mo, hindi naman ako pulis di ba? Meron pa rin akong emosyon pag nababasa ko yung you will be the next Congressman Bosita. So nakikita ko yung story na ginagampanan nila that merong gagawing operation, but unfortunately wala pang dumarating yung PIDEA report, so parang sayang yung mahuhuli natin, so we have to go with this, ganun. But still, mali. Alam nyo, okay sana kung nagsabi na kayo ng totoo right away In the first hearing that we conducted, nabanggit na agad lahat But, nalaman namin nakita namin, naintindihan namin ang story, and we warned each and every one of you that we know the story. But still, nagsisinungaling kayo. But now that we have conducted a executive session, and there, na-revealan lahat, somehow meron ako sa part ng puso ko na I'm being thankful. But on the other side of my heart, kasi merong biktima may naapi may nagawa ng masama So, being a human being, and being the chairman, I want to be transparent as I can. And of course, hindi natin kailanman matatawaran yung nagawang masama. Di ba? So, yun ang pinanggagalingan ko sa ngayon. And I wanted to have this hearing badly and to have an closure on this as well. So, bago ko tawagin yung iba, siguro, wala na po ba magsasalita? So, pwede na tayo magsimula ng ating ng interpellation o wanted to ask questions. I think Congressman Bosita wanted to ask something. Di ba? So, Congressman Bosita, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning po sa lahat. Mr. Chair, before my interpellation, gusto ko lang sabihin, Mr. Chair, na napakaganda po nitong House Resolution ni Honorable Chairman Acop. Kasi po, katulad ng mga naunang resolutions niya, parang kung hindi niya pinansin, hopeless na Alam po natin na sa mahihirap na tao, pagkaso-kaso na, talagang amenably, mas magagaling ang polis. Kaya talagang napakaganda po nitong mga House Resolutions ni Honorable Chairman Acop. Katulad po nito, very clear. At nagbago po sila ng kanilang sworn statement. Wala talagang bypass operation. Ang alleged suspect, wala talagang baril. At hindi talaga siya pumutok. And most probably, Mr. Chair, kaya pala namatay siguro ito, siguro kasi wala naman ako sa position na sabihin kung totoo yung aking assessment. Loss of blood kasi mali yung trabaho ng pulis natin. Gusto nilang sa papel ay itama, masyadong na-delay. So, just like nabanggit po ni Honorable Congressman Barbers, dapat mapanagot yung dapat managot. And ang maganda nito, Mr. Chair, magiging aral ito sa lahat ng mga pulis. Kahit ang intention natin ay maganda at sinasabing you suspect, allegedly, nagtutulak, hindi pa rin pwedeng i-shortcut. O katulad niyan, may mga naimbestiga na dito, mga na-dismiss, nakulong. O paano ngayon yan? Ang maganda lang po dito, Mr. Chair, magiging aral ito sa iba nating mga kapulisan na patuloy pa rin gumagawa ng masama at hindi alunsunod sa batas. And ako po, kumpiyansa, Mr. Chair, resulta ito ng matagal ng practice na kailangan may accomplishment, pinipilit. So, hindi ko naman po sinasabi o pinagtatanggol itong mabababa nating personnel. May kasalanan din dito yung mga senior officers. Hindi nila nasusupervise ng tama yung tao nila. Ang laging nasa isip, accomplishment, papogi, pasikat. Paano ngayon yan? Ang masakit nito, Mr. Chair, yung namatay, may 7 anak. Ano na magiging buhay ng anak niya? So talagang, Mr. Chair, I agree with the Honorable Congressman Barbers. Dapat mapanagot ang mga dapat managot na police personnel. And in fairness to those PNCOs concerned, dapat ma-extend yung accountability sa mga officers. Hindi pwedeng isacrifice natin yung PNCO lamang. Unfair yan at matagal ng practice yan. Pagalingan ng pagpapalusot. So, again, Mr. Chair, mamaya ko na lang po ipagpatuloy yung interpretation ko. Again, on behalf of kababayan nating mahihirap, katulad ko po, galing sa mahirap na pamilya at bata pa ako, nasaksihan ko na yung pang-aabuso ng ibang kapulisan. Maraming salamat po, Honorable Chairman, Congressman Acop. Kung hindi dahil sa iyo, and of course, sa ating Chairman, Honorable Congressman Dan Fernandez, Chairman, and other members ng committee, sa ngalan po ng ating mga babayang mahihirap, maraming salamat po sa inyo. At least sa ganitong pamamaraan, ay nabibigyan po ng hustisya ang mga katulad nila na nabibiktima ng matagal ng maling gawain ng iba nating mga kasama sa kapulisan. At ang resulta po nito, naniniwala ako, doon sa mga kapatid natin sa PNP, si Honorable Chairman ako at iba pang mga retired police personnel and other members, and of course, the chairman of this committee, hindi namin ginagawa ito para pitpitin o pahirapan yung PNP. We love PNP. Kasi kung ma-address natin itong mga ganito, masasawata, masusupil ang malpractice ng ibang personnel, pasikat, gusto, marami accomplishments, gusto, pabida. Pag na-address na yan, later on, mawawala na yan, gaganda na ang PNP, gaganda na ang tiwala, tatas ang tiwala ng taong bayan. Bottom line, maganda para sa lahat. Magiging maganda ang imahe ng PNP, hindi na matatakot ang taong bayan, at magiging maganda ang relasyon ng PNP and community. Kung babalikan po ninyo yung PNP mission, masyadong taliwas yung inyong ginagawa Meron pang ibang House, kung di ako nagkakamali, may House resolution pang iba si General Acop na katulad ng mga nangyari doon sa Los Baños, Mr. Chair. Kalamba, police ang involved. Imagine, ang nag-abduct, ang nag-kidnap, police personnel. So, napakaganda nitong ganitong nangyayari, Mr. Chair. Kasi natatakot na ang taong bayan sa pulis Nung bata pa po ako, Mr. Chair, banggitin ko lang, pag may nakitang pulis, high moral ka feeling safe. Totoo ang sinasabi ng taong bayan, pag nakakita ka ng pulis ngayon, natatakot ka. Baligtad. So, brothers and sisters from the PNP, baguhin natin ito. Yun lamang po, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much. Before we recognize Congressman Paduano, no, just wanted may tatanong lang ako sa Napolcom siguro, Owen, RD Owen, yung tungkol sa, kasi kanina meron akong nabanggit para bago tayo bumalik doon sa issue tungkol dun sa mga members ng PNP na na-assign dun sa mga area na kung saan dun sila galing. Kasi gaano katagal na ba yung policing yan?
Actually, sir, Mr. Chair, honorable members, yung policy po natin is of course matagal na po na kung sino yung mga naka-assign as members of the police station. Ang napapalitan naman po madalas ay mga officers. So they come and go yung mga official po. Ang mga advantages po, marami po talaga na maganda rin yung taga-roon po sila. Mas nakikilala nila yung community, and of course yung pagtagaroon sila, takot silang gumawa ng kalokohan kasi mababalita yung pangalan nila, pamilya nila na ganito yung pulis na yan. Ang disadvantage nga po ay of course, hindi po natin maialis kung kamag-anak or sa politika and other members ng community na nakikiusap, baka humapakiusapan ang ilang kapulisan. Ang isa naman pong disadvantage, ito po yung ilan sa obserbasyon po namin, ay depende rin po sa mga opisyal. Tama po yung naging obserbasyon po ng ating mga honorable congressmen. Nasa namumuno po talaga yung accountability of our chief of police, provincial directors, and other supervisors. Dito po makikita kung paano nila minamanage yung kanilang personnel. There can only be one leader in a station. So doon po makikita yung kung gaano sila ka-accountable, competent to manage their personnel. In fact, hindi po pwede na sabihin, hindi ko alam na ito yung ginawa ng mga tao ko. You should be held accountable to explain bakit kaya nangyari to, whether off duty or on duty. So sir, when it comes to policy, sir, nagbabago naman po yan. Sometimes there is a discretion on the part of the officers concerned on how to distribute this personnel to have an effective police service.
Pero gaano katagal na RD yung polisiya niyan ng PNP? Siguro, tanongin din natin ng PNP. Andiyan ba yung PNP na, sino nga highest official ng PNP right now? Kasi si RD, he said excuse muna kasi the president will be going to Tanawan. So, he must be there. So, PD, malinaw.
Yes, sir.
So, gaano katagal na yung polisiya na yan?
The last policy that, as far as I can recall, sir, was during the time of General Cascolan, wherein it was pronounced during his term, inababalik yung mga pulis sa kanya-kanyang bayan. So that was the last, sir, na members of the PNP are...
Coscolan.
Cascolan, sir, yes,
Coscolan.
sir. In the NCR experience, there were police coming from Region 1, nag-excess po yung recruitment doon, quota. So they were accommodated dito sa quota na NCR and PNP staff. Then during that time, sir, when the announcement was given by General Cascolan, hinayaan na magkaroon ng exodus going to the respective provinces.
So, basically, lahat ba, for example, yung katuwad San Juan, so lahat ng mga taga San Juan, kung kayang accommodate doon, andun sila sa San Juan. Ganun ba ang nagiging palasiya ngayon ng PNP? Or it may be like sa province, wag sa San Juan, dalhin sila sa ibang lugar ng Batangas? I really don't know yet, no? But I think, having this thing happened,
Yes, sir.
Siguro it needs some review.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Congressman
po.
Acop, I think you need to speak. Go ahead, Congressman Acop.
Chairman, thank you. Every time a new chief PNP gets that position, binabago yung mga rules and regulations. Nung una, yung mga police at saka the officers can be assigned anywhere. That is the general rule. Di ba? Ang general rule, you can be assigned anywhere in this part of the country. Kailang, dumarating yung panahon na nagkakaroon ng problema yung ating mga kapulisan na pag kailangan nilang umuwi, magastos. For example, if you're assigned in Basilan, you're from Metro Manila or from the province of Laguna, makakauwi ka lang siguro ng once a month if you are an officer. Pero pag pulis ka, yung NCO ka, may hirapan ka. So yung mga leaders ng kapulisan, taking this into consideration, came up with policies na kung po pwede, yung especially the PNCOs, ay dapat dun sa probinsya nila ma-assign. Yun ang dahilan kung bakit binago natin yung general rule na ang isang pulis ay pwedeng ma-assign sa iba't ibang lugar ng ating bansa. Now, for the officers, dahil sa kakulangan ng mga pwesto, sa dami ng opisyal, kasi ang general rule is that an officer is supposed to occupy yung different ladders of authority habang pataas siya, yung opisyal. Dapat ma-assign siya sa iba-ibang position ng authority para he will gain knowledge and wisdom doon sa kanyang position. And as he goes up, talagang makikita mo, kami na na-assign sa iba't ibang lugar ng ating bansa, we've learned na iba-ibang kultura ng bawat lugar. For those who have not been assigned in other areas of this country, hindi mo alam yung kultura doon sa lugar na yun. So matututo yung isang opisyal na makibagay sa kultura ng bawat lugar ng ating bansa. That was the rationale na dapat ma-assign ka sa iba't ibang lugar ng ating bansa. Unfortunately, yun nga, the cost of travel, kasi kailangan naman ng mga pulis na bumisita sa kanilang pamilya. So, in order to eliminate yung malaking expenses, nagde-decide yung ating mga authorities na dapat sa probinsya nila, kung saan sila nakatira, doon sila ma-assign. I think that was the rationale, Mr. Chair, kung bakit binago yung general rule na ang pulis ay ma-assign dapat sa lahat ng lugar ng ating bansa. Maraming salamat po.
And I think,
Mr. Chair.
General Acop, justified naman yung reason on why kailangan dun sila sa area nila. But unfortunately, may mga incident like this that that need to recalibrate yung policy na yon in order to make it more stronger yung polisiya ng ating PNP. And I think tama din kasi nga magastos and it costs also yung social ills ng relationship between the police and yung asawa, di ba? Kasi kung masyadong matagal yung paghiwalay nila, di ba? It may cause infidelity as well. O kakaroon ng ikalawang pamilya. So maraming ganung mga sitwasyon and by doing that policy, somehow ay nakokorek natin yung problem na yon. But yung mga ganitong problem that also needs attention must be corrected as well. Sige, Congressman Busi.
Mr. Chairman, if the manifestation of Congressman Busita is related to the issue at hand, as of now, I yield to my time with Congressman
Yes,
Okay,
Busita. But
because this is the time of Congressman Paduano. If the good congressman will,
Mr. Chair, related po doon sa nabanggit ni Honorable Chairman Acop. And,
Sige, go ahead. I'm giving you
Yes.
30 seconds. Hindi, couple of
Mr. Chair,
minutes.
akala ko kaibigan kita. Mr. Chair, nabanggit lang po ni Provincial Director Colonel Malinaw yung quota. Actually, Mr. Chair, napansin ko po yan nung nasa service pa tayo. Ang PNP nagbibigay po ng quota by region. Usapang totoo. Pag ang regional director ay kung anong probinsya siya or may mga staff officer siya taga ibang probinsya, yung quota para sa Region 4, for example, na napapasukan po ng mga ibang applicants from different regions. Pumapasok po dyan yung bata-bata system. Kaya po ang nangyayari, yung taga Region 4, for example, hindi na-accommodate at ang mga na-accommodate galing sa iba't ibang regions. So meaning, doon pa lamang po sa processing ng recruitment sa PNP, nag-uumpisa na agad yung problema. Samantalang kung ma-implement strictly, kung Region 4 ang quota, 500, Region 2, Region 3, dapat strictly mga taga roon lamang po ang hinahire or nire-recruit na police. Kasi hindi po pwede yung sasabing kulang kaya kumuha doon sa ibang regions. Hindi po totoo. Kasi ang liit lang ng quota, ang dami naman professionals, ang daming qualified applicants. Kaya ano po yan sabi nga nung iba, chain reaction yan Siyempre, kung hindi ka taga Region 4, malakas ang loob mong umabuso. Samantalang kung taga ron ka, maingat ka. Iniingatan mo yung pamilya mo, iniingatan mo yung pangalan ng pamilya mo, siyempre. So, Mr. Chair, nabanggit ko lamang po yan, dapat ma-implement strictly yung polisiya na kung binigay ang quota sa Region 1, sa Region 2, strictly, ang applicants, taga doon lamang. Fair naman po yun Wala akong nakikitang mali doon. So, yun lamang po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Congressman Busita. Okay, so we will be proceeding with the interpellation of Congressman Paduano. You are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I have just read the supplemental affidavit or the corrected affidavit of PMSG 1 Macaraig, in which 1 Macaraig, PMSG 1 Macaraig is the team leader of the said unit that was involved with regards to the shooting of a certain Mr. Laresma. Now, I have not read all the affidavit by the personnel involved, no? Except for Karandang, because Karandang, when we have an executive session, malinaw po na Karandang was not part of the operation, but his name appears on the report to that operation. Whatever is the purpose is, yun na atang kalakaran sa PNP, yun pa, Mr. Chairman, ang mali doon. Kasi kahit hindi ka kasali doon sa operation, for promotion purposes, kinakarga yung mga pangalan doon ng kung sino-sino na lang. Ito ngayon sumabit. Now, of course, he explained in his corrected affidavit or supplemental affidavit that he was not part of such operation. Now, Mr. Chairman, looking at the affidavit of Ms. PMSG 1 Macaraig as the head, team leader of that team. And I think almost all, no? Kasi binasa ko lang yung first and second paragraph of all the affidavit except yung kay Macaraig. Lahat po medyo pare-pareho pa rin ng tono, but bago na, and I hope this corrected affidavit is true and correct. That's what really happens during that day, no? When Laresma was shot. Now, ang wala po dito, Mr. Chairman, in the affidavit, kasi dapat nakalagay dito yung question, ito kasi yung question of how happens, no? Yung actual operation. But the planning, ayun yung sabi kanina ni Chairman Barbers, who are those involved? Outside of that 6, hindi nga 7 Kasi Makarandang is not involved directly. He's not part of the plan, he's not part of the operation. His name was just listed in the post-operation report. Now, ang question dito, Mr. Chairman, to get to the bottom of this, all of this, we should check who are those involved during the planning and who are those involved in the narrative that was made on the first affidavit of all those personnel involved. Yun po ang wala dito. Now, before I proceed with that, Mr. Chairman, tatanungin mamaya si Macaraig na lang. Are you sure that you have Baka ito Perez, you are the one that approached the victim. And in your affidavit, I read, you recovered 2 sachet of shabu. Shabu. Tama po.
Yes po, sir.
That is 4 grams. Yung dalawang sachet ba, 4 grams yon?
Yes, sir. Yes po, Your Honor.
Sigurado ka?
Yes, sir.
Eh baka mamaya may lalabas na naman na walang shabong nakuha.
Sir, kanya po yun, sir.
Tapos 4 grams
More
Not 1 sachet.
2 sachet, sir. More than 4 grams, sir.
Yun lang po. Chine-check ko lang, Chairman, kasi mamaya, baka mamaya biglang lumitaw. Nagsunuling ka na naman. Problema mo na naman yun. Diba? Now, yung post-operation report, kaya nga yung narrative nung nakaraan is false. Diba? Inadmit na dito sa mga corrected affidavit. Now, ang question, sinong gumawa ng narrative na yun? Is it Perez alone? Is it Makaraig as team leader? Or somebody else? Ray as the director of such narrative. Oh, Perez. Sino bang gumawa nun? Nung narrative na yun, kayo lang ba? Sigurado ka? Baka, yun yung sinasabi ko, baka may... Kasi, kahit anong cover up nyo, lalabas at lalabas pa rin ang katotohanan. Mamaya, tatanong ko yan. Kaya nga ngayon pa lang, Makaraig and Perez, you're the most senior officer in that group. Baka mamaya mag-executive session ako ulit, may sasabihin na naman. I will ask the chair for an executive session. Kasi kailangan yun. Kasi hindi natapos ang report nyo. Question of the narrative. Pare-pareho kayo eh. Oh, who is the director of that narrative? Makaraig. Where's Makaraig? Makaraig. Sinong director ng narrative nyo?
Bali po sir, kami lang po kasama investigate.
Sigurado ka?
Po, Your Honor.
Sigurado ka? Mamaya pag nagsinungaling ka, problema pa rin. Papakulong kami namin dito. Kasi babalikan ko mamaya yung tanong sa pinagsimulan. Oh, eto. Bigyan kita ng isang clue. Nandyan mga affidavit mo? Hawak mo ba?
Yes, sir.
Oh, number 13. Basahin mo. Ito, ang problema sa inyo, may gusto ko yung isalba. Mamaya si Patrolman, Patrolman, what's your name, Patrolman? Carpio? Baka mamaya si Patrol Carpio na naman yung nagsasalita ng totoo. Sisimula ni Carpio, then lahat kayo, papasok dun sa room. Oh, Makaraig.
Yes, sir.
Oh, anong laman ng affidavit number 13 mo? Paragraph 13. Yung last sentence. Oh, sabi mo dito ito, I called PSSG Perez and the Alpha to ride the car and we will go back to the station to report what happened to Police Lieutenant Colonel Lintag, our police chief of San Juan, Batangas.
Yes, sir.
O, anong oras nangyari ito? Yung pag-report nyo?
After na po sir nung mangyari doon sa...
Anong oras nga? Ano yung after?
Mga... Humigit kumulang po sa... Kuha na po ito.
Did you report personally to him? O tumawag ka lang?
Bali, nagpunta po kami mismo sa istasyon.
O nakita kayo doon?
Yes, sir.
On the... An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours after the operation?
Sir, the operation po nung madala po sa district hospital, doon po kami dumiretso.
O then, siyang gumawa ng recommendation sa province.
Ipinaalam po namin sa
Hindi,
kanya.
siyang gumawa ng recommendation sa province, di ba?
Yes, sir.
O, yun ang sinasabi ko. Chairman, Chairman, kasi dito, sa narrative dito, ang gagawa talaga ng recommendation dun sa case is the the Chief of Police. O, nandito ba yung Chief of Police? Ikaw ba gumawa ng ng report to the province?
Good morning, sir.
Oh,
Ang ginawa ko, sir, yung pinumirma ko, sir, ng spot report, yung mga request, sir, sa ballistics, sa paraffin test, saka sa autopsy, sir. Ang basis ko po, sir, ay yung statement sa akin, sir, ng mga operatives po.
hindi. Ang question kasi, kung anong sinabi nila, ayun yun, hook, line, and sinker. Di ba? Yun ang ginawa mo. You never made an investigation. May namatay na eh. May
Sir,
naputukan.
nagkaroon po, sir, ng judicial affidavit po yung poster buyer, tsaka po yung investigator.
Eto, Colonel, ha?
Yun po yung
Eto, ha? I warn you now. Again, ikaw. Pinawarn din kita kasi pag binalikan ko mamaya, now, I will ask you, Mr. Chairman, ganito na lang. Why didn't you admit during the previous hearing, if you're not part of the group which planned and make that narrative post-operation, why did you not admit that indeed that car, that Camry, red Camry was used and it is impounded in your station?
Sir, with regards to the car, sir, I was in good faith, sir, na sinabi ko po na hindi ako familiar sa car. But because, sir, yung car, sir, ay hindi po siya naka-impound, sir, sa premises po ng station. Doon po,
Eh,
sir,
whatever, you're the chief of police of that station. Eh, may kaano nga dito eh, di ba? May spot report din with regards to that. Di ba nagpadala kayo dito? Oh, you're the police station commander. Oh, ba't nung tinanong ka ng isang member namin dito, chairman ako pa tao, si Chairman Dan, may video pa?
yes,
You deny it.
yes, sir, hindi po talaga ako familiar, sir, kasi po, hindi po siya naka-park doon sa premises, sir, ng stations na.
Oh, ngayon ang tanong. Oh, Makaraig, ikaw chief of police ka. Makaraig, using that car, did you ask permission from your chief of police? Umuwi ka ba ng permiso na gamitin yon?
Your Honor, ang bali po ang naggamit po yung kabilang team ni...
Hindi nga, ikaw ang team leader eh. Tinatanong kita. O yan, nagbabatuan na naman kayo. Tinatanong kita diretso, ikaw ang team leader. Did you ask permission from your chief of police to use that car? O ba't hindi ka makasagot? Chairman, wala rin to kapidabit ito. I will recommend personally to the committee na doon sa committee report. Ba't hindi ka makasagot ng diretso? You cannot answer because you want to hide something. Oh, Makarig. Ano to? Akala ko, ayos na tayo. Did you ask permission? Again, this will be my last question. Did you ask permission, your chief of police, to use that car? Please answer.
Yes or no?
Oh. Yes. Perez. Oh, do you know that Macareg asked permission to use that car from the chief of police?
Your Honor, hindi ko po alam, Your Honor eh. Basta
Pero alam mo
ko,
na impounded yun.
Yes, yes sir. Yes sir.
Alam mo na impounded yun.
Yes sir.
Okay. What's the driver of that car? Red? Di Chavez ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh. Paano mo nakuha yung sasakyan? Who orders you to use that car as your backup? Sino po?
Kami lang po, sir, yung basta sumakay doon. 4 po kami, sir.
And then, tanong ko, sino nagbigay sa'yo ng order to use that car? Sino nagbigay sa'yo ng paintulot na gamitin yung sasakyan na yan?
Wala po, Your Honor. Kami
Oh.
lang po.
Wala. Wala nagutos sa'yo? So, ginamit niyo lang?
Yes, Your Honor.
Si Macareg never instructed you to use that car?
No po, Your Honor.
O Macareg. So, may usapan niyo nung director nyo, chief of police nyo, na gamitin yung pulang sasakyan pero you never instructed the Chavez?
Your Honor, bali po ay nagagamit na po sa Diayo nung una pa. Kaya po nung bigla ang lakad po ay...
Pakilapit mo yung ano.
Your Honor, dati po ay sa ibang lakad ay nagamit din po. Ay nung biglaan pong lakad ay nagamit na po din po.
Okay. So, sa mga biglang lakad, ginagamit niyo yun. Ngayon, itong operation na to ginamit niyo ulit. But of course, ang presumption mo, alam ng opisyal mo. Ang immediate officer mo is the chief of police. Oh, Hepe. Oh, malinaw. It was being used not only in this operation, it was used in the previous operations. Tapos hindi mo alam? You're not familiar?
Totoo po sir na hindi ako familiar sa car na yun sir kasi hindi po siya nakapark sa hindi ko na siya nakapark sa
Whatever.
station, sir.
And inventory and everything, you don't have to check. Kailan ka ba umupo doon as chief of police?
Ayun po sir ang pagkakambali ko, hindi ko po
Hindi, kailan ka ba umupo doon as chief of police?
August 27, 2022 sir.
2022?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oo. Kailan nangyari yun? Makaraig? 2023 na. Anong buwan? Limutan ko yung ano nyo. May 28, 2023. 24. Oh, epe. That's more than 2 years. Oh, hindi mo alam? Na may sasakyan doon na pula? Eh, ilang beses na pala nila ginagamit? What kind of boyster you are? Hindi mo alam yung mga nangyari doon sa opisina mo, sa UR mo. Now, ang worst is, post-operation, kung anong narrative nila, yun ang ginamit mo. Unless, sasabihin ni Perez, sabihin ni Macaraig, that you are part of that narrative. Perez, yung chief of police ba, bahagi doon sa report nyo, post-report nyo, tsaka yung affidavit nyo?
No, sir. Bali, kami-kami lang po yung nagdesisyon, sir, nung regarding sa affidavit, sir. Regarding sa affidavit, sir.
Kayo lang.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a lawyer?
Sir?
May lawyer ba kayo nung naganda ng affidavit nyo?
Wala po, sir.
Kayo lang.
Yes, sir.
Si Karandang saan? Karandang. O, yung affidavit ninyo, kayo lang?
No, sir. Assisted po guided po ng lawyer, sir.
Ikaw, yung sa'yo.
Yes, sir.
Yung iba? Ikaw, Perez.
Sir, ang tinutukoy ko pong affidavit, sir, yung nauna. Pero ngayon, sir, sa pangalawa, may lawyer na po, sir.
Yung sa una, Karandang, mayroon kayo?
No, Your Honor.
Ano? So kayo lang?
Yes, Your Honor.
Makaraig,
Yes, sir.
maliban doon sa sinong hepe mo talaga? Direct na principal mo, sino?
Si Police Lieutenant Colonel Lintag, sir.
Siya mismo. Wala kang commission officer na opisyal.
Wala po, sir.
So diretso ka kay Lintag.
Yes, sir.
So ang gusto ko lang i-correct because like Colonel Lintag is kept on denying that he knows that the red car is being used and it is under the custody of your station. Now, Makaraig, ulit, nung ginamit nyo yung pulang sasakyan, at that time, kinausap po ba si Epe that you will use that car?
No, sir.
No. Di Chavez, ikaw nag-drive, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, nung planning stage, nandiyan ka na?
Yes, Your Honor.
O so si Makaraig ang nagpaplano? Head ng planning nyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
O so sinabi niya na gamitin yung pulang sasakyan?
No, Your Honor. Basta yun lang po yung available. Yun na po ang ginamit namin, Your Honor.
Sabi naman to. So, desisyon niya lang na kung ano lang available na car, pwedeng gamitin kagad. Kahit impounded. Yun yung kalakaran doon. Ganun ba? Ganun ba Makaraig, Di Chavez?
Yun po nangyari, Your Honor.
O, ganun. And you are doing it for the passive real operation na. Ginagamit niyo yun sa ilang mga lakad. Okay. So, Mr. Chairman, as of now, I will give a benefit of the doubt to Lieutenant Colonel Lintag with regards to his knowledge about that red car. But at the very least, may problema sa Mr. Chairman. Hindi niya alam kung anong nangyayari sa stasyon niya.
Yeah.
Lumalakad yung mga mga personnel niya na hindi niya alam.
Okay. Tama yan. Okay. Oh,
So, Chairman, anyway, still, nakahang pa rin, Mr. Chairman, yung tanong, question of those, not only those 6, kasi Karandang, i-out mo na yan, wala sa plano yan. Now, yung 6, nakahang pa rin, Mr. Chairman, kung sino ba talaga ang iba pag-involved doon sa planning at the same time sa post-operation report, Mr. Chairman, yung narrative na ginawa nila. Thank you, Mr.
so in
Chairman.
other words, Chairman Paduano, from the moment na conceptualize nila Makaraig, nila Lintag, nila Sergeant Perez yung plano to have a bypass operation, unfortunately hindi nagmaterialize yung plan. They went back. Bumalik kayo sa sa estasyon, di ba? Sa estasyon, doon yun na nakausap si Colonel Lintag and you reported what transpired. At nireport nyo na lahat na. Can you please reply, Makaraig? And
Yes, sir.
So nireport nyo na nagkaroon na ng barilan, ganon, hindi na nag-consummate yung bilihan ng ng
Yes, Your Honor.
ng shabu at lahat na naikwento nyo na sa kanya. So bali lahat nakwento nyo na kay Colonel Lintag. So Colonel Lintag, bakit in spite of the fact that they have tell you the story by Sergeant Makaraig and Sergeant Perez, still yung lumabas na mga affidavit nila in relation to what really happened was different, Colonel Lintag?
Good morning po, Your Honor.
Bakit nag-stick kayo dun sa story na nagkaroon ng bypass?
Your Honor, ang report po nila sa akin, Your Honor.
Ano, lakas mo yung boses mo, Colonel Lintag?
Ang report po nila, Your Honor, sa akin is...
Ano?
Ang report po nila, Your Honor, sa akin is consummated po yung bypass nung time na yon. Yun po ang naging basis ko.
So, ang naging report sa iyo ay nangyari yung
Yes, Your Honor.
yung bypass.
Yes, Your Honor.
At ito, paninindigan nyo na, Makaraig.
Yes, sir. Bali po, nagdesisyon kami noon ni Michi na nung mangyari po na magkaroon ng isang bypass operation. Kaya po nagawa siya ng statement, Your Honor.
Sino nagawa ng statement?
Bali po isang statement para ma-file po si Sergeant Michi Perez, Your Honor.
And gano'n ba kalaki yung police station nyo, Colonel Lintag? How many square meters?
Ang lot area po ng compound ng station, sir, is 1,000 square meters.
1,000 square meter?
Yes,
Yung
Your Honor.
inyong impounding, gano'n kalaki?
Yung impounding namin, sir, siguro mga 100 square meters, sir.
100?
Your Honor.
Ilan ang impounded na sasakyan?
Marami po, Your Honor, pero yung
Ilan ang impounded na sasakyan?
hindi po ako sure sa figure, Your Honor.
Ano pang hindi mo alam, sabi ni Chairman Acop? Ano pang hindi mo alam? 100 square meter lang yun. Gaano kalaki ang 100 square meter? E di, malalaman mo ilan yung impounded na sasakyan. Yun ang tinatanong ko. Sabi mo, 100 square meter. O, so kung 100 square meter, ilan ang impounded na sasakyan doon? Ilan?
Your Honor, hindi po ako sure sa figure.
Colonel Lintag,
Mr. Chair,
100 square meter lang tinatanong ko. Isa, dalawa, tatlong sasakyan ang impounded doon.
Sa mga four-wheel vehicle po, sir, siguro more or less, sir, mga nasa 15 to 20.
15 ang impounded doon sa 100 square meter?
Sir, yung iba pong mga impounded, sir, wala po sa loob ng station, sir. Nandun po sa may open space, sir, sa may car wash na katabi ng police station, sir.
Itong kulay pula, saan nakalagay? Doon sa 100 square meter?
Hindi po, sir.
Saan nakalagay?
Sa ano po sir, nalaman ko sir doon po sa may tapat ng car wash sir, yung open
O
space.
kita mo na,
doon,
alam
sir.
mo. Dati
Di
hindi
sir,
mo
ngayon ko
sinasabi.
lang po nalaman sir.
So ngayon mo lang nalaman.
yung natanong ko po sila
So
sir.
mangyari to, inalam mo na.
Yes sir.
Mabuti naman, inaalam mo. Pero dati
Mr.
dapat
Chair.
alam mo lahat yan. Kernel. So, ang liit-liit na station mo, 2,000 square meter, tapos 100 square meter yung impounding mo, at kung merong car wash doon na nilalagay yung ibang impounded, ako bilang akong head ng istasyon, dapat alam ko yan. Di ba? Specific na mga kotse na nakalagay doon sa impounding mo, dapat alam. Kapag tinanong ka namin, specifically masasagot mo. And as a matter of fact, inaalam namin sa iyo, padala mo sa amin kung ilan yung listahan ng impounded na sasakyan doon. I haven't received any document coming from you. And that's the reason why hindi ko ma-blame itong mga members to ask you. Actually, ako, I'm done with asking what happened to that. Let the provincial director, Colonel Malinaw, and regional director decided on your fate. Kasi meron kang command responsibility dito. And I'm pretty sure madidismiss ka rin because of your responsibility. Actually, parang kang walang alam sa lahat eh. Hindi mo nga alam kung ilan ang nakalagay na sasakyan doon sa 100 square meter. And that's worrisome, ha? Kung lahat ng PNP, lahat ng ating chief of police ng bawat munisipyo at city ay katulad mo na ganyan, na hindi alam kung ano nangyayari sa kanyang istasyon, ni hindi mo alam kung ano nangyayari doon sa operasyon, at napaglalangan ka at naloko ka ni Makaraig dahil hindi niya sinabi ang totoo sa iyo, aba, parang ano ka, parang kayang-kaya ka ni Sergeant Makaraig.
Mr. Chair.
Colonel Busita. And
Thank
then,
you, Mr. Chair. In relation to the interpellation of Honorable Congressman Paduano, sir. Si Hepe na-assign sa San Juan City Police Station noong August 25, 2023. Police Master Sergeant Makaraig, kailan ka na-assign sa San Juan CPS?
Year 2011 po, Your Honor.
2011. Sa pagkakaalam mo, ang tagal mo na 2011, 13 years. Sa pagkakaalam mo, sino ang nakahuli doon sa red Toyota Camry? Naalala mo ba?
Your Honor, sa pagkaalala ko po ay time po ni ang hepe ay ni Police Lieutenant Colonel Manalo, Your Honor.
Police Lieutenant Colonel
Manalo po.
Manalo. 13 years ka na dyan. Sa ang police kasi, chismoso yan eh. Sa pagkakaalam mo, anong violation ng kotse na yan?
Reckless imprudence, Your Honor.
Okay. So, ang Chief of Police, nung ma-impound dyan, si Police Lieutenant Colonel
Manalo po, Your Honor.
Manalo. Mr. Chair, may malpractice kasi sa station, Mr. Chair. Nung ang nakikita kong possibility dyan, Mr. Chair, hindi ko naman bata yan si Colonel Lintag hindi ko rin kilala talaga yan. Nung ma-impound yan, ginagamit na ng mga pulis ng San Juan City Police. Meaning, nung mag-assume, ang nakikita ko po dyan, nung mag-assume si Colonel Lintag, wala yan sa impounding area. Naging practice na yan ginagamit. So, talagang hindi po niya masasagot yan. Ang dapat po nating malaman, sinong custodian at sinong responsible personnel na nag-impound yan. Yung po ang nakikita natin na dapat ay masangkot dyan sa problema na yan. I think, undeclared yan Supposedly, nung mag-assume, by the way, Sergeant Makaraig, after Police Lieutenant Colonel Manalo, sinong pumalit? Siguro, more or less, Nakalimang hepe na. Tama ba?
Kung naalala ko, sir, ay ang pumalit ay si Police Lieutenant Colonel, hindi po nagkakamali, Ancheta, Your Honor.
Ancheta. Ano pang naalala mo? Sino pang pumalit? Hindi mo masyadong maalala. Ang tanong ko na lang sa'yo, after Police Lieutenant Colonel Manalo, more or less ilang chief of police ang pumalit na? Siguro more or less 5. 6.
Wala na po siguro na 5, Your Honor.
2000... Kailan... Hindi, kasi Honorable Congressman Paduano, gusto ko pong makita dyan, yung talagang nararanasan sa police station. Hindi na di-declare, ginagamit yung sasakyan. So again, hindi ko naman sinusuportahan yung aligasyon ni Colonel Lintag, pero ang kailangan, Mr. Chair, ma-establish sinong responsible personnel sa pagka-impound dyan. Kasi kung ako po nasa posisyon ni Colonel Lintag, undeclared, wala sa impounding, hindi makita sa records, talagang mangyayari po yan. So, dapat ma-find out talaga. So, talagang mahirapan sumagot si Colonel Lintag for that matter, Mr. Chair. Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. The Chair, Congressman Abante, then Congressman Barbers, then Congressman Acop. Sige, go ahead, Congressman Abante.
I just would like to remind all of our resource people here that are under oath, di ba? All of them under oath, di ba? So, ibig sabihin nito po, they should be telling us the truth. Mr. Chair, di ba?
Correct, that is correct, Congressman.
And they are not telling us the truth.
The last time that we have a hearing, they were not really telling us the truth, and then we have an executive session, and they executed a different version of the story.
Just want to find out, Mr. Chair, if the people that executed a mandatory affidavit executed the first affidavit and submitted that to our committee.
Yes, Congressman, Chairman Acop, Chairman Abante, we have received the new
Therefore,
affidavits.
Mr. Chair, these people have been telling us a lie ever since.
Yes.
How would I know that this mandatory affidavit, how would I know that this is not the truth? How would I know? Di ba? If you told a lie in the first affidavit, you expect us to believe in the second affidavit that you executed? Colonel Lintag, can you answer that, please? You expect us to believe in the second affidavit that you executed? Where did you, saan ka nakatapos ng pagka-police, Colonel Lintag?
Sa Philippine National Police Academy po.
Philippine National Police Academy. I think that in the PNPA, admission of serious lapses is the death of whoever that man that was killed. Balot ng tawag. Is that only a serious lapse to you? Serious lapse lang ba yun?
No, Your Honor, but
Anong ginawa po ninyo sa kanila?
Your Honor, I was not no longer in a position to make action since I was relieved. I was relieved from San Juan Police Station, Your Honor, and I am also a subject of investigation.
So you were not the chief of police at the time?
No, Your Honor. After the incident, Your Honor.
No, I'm not finished yet. You were not the chief of police at the time that the crime was committed. Were you the chief of police?
I was, Your Honor.
Then, if you were the chief of police, you should have done something on this.
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you do, Mr. Chair?
I made a memorandum, Your Honor, directing them to explain kung bakit po nangyari yung...
Did you submit to us a memorandum? Did you submit to this committee the memorandum?
No, Your Honor.
Did you submit to us a spot report of the crime
Yes, Your
in this
Honor.
committee? Did you submit to us a police report? Did
Submitted
you
po, yes.
submit to us a police report?
I think the Internal Affairs Officer submitted, Your Honor. Because sila po
Who
ang nagconduct-
submitted?
Sila po ang nagkandak ng motu proprio investigation.
Yes, command responsibility tells you that you ought to be hands down on the incident. And it would be you, as the chief of police, that should submit a police report. What I'm saying is, Mr. Chair, did you submit a police report? Did you submit a memorandum that you have executed against your policeman in this committee? Did you submit that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you submit it? Kaya na, sanayan mo, hindi.
Yung memorandum po, Your Honor, nandun na po sa Internal Affairs Service, Your Honor.
What I'm saying is, did you submit that to the committee? No.
Your Honor.
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. Chair, that Colonel Lintag submit to us a memorandum in all the documents pertaining to the crime committed, Mr. Chair. So I move.
Yes, Congress, Chairman, we will be giving you all the documents. Actually, we have already
Okay.
gotten the documents.
No.
But COMSEC is hereby directed to give Chairman Abante all the documents pertaining to this case.
So, Mr. Chair, I just would like to say here that it would be very hard for me to believe that these policemen that have executed their affidavit are still telling the truth to us. Very hard to believe. Okay, unless I would have the police report, and I would even guess that the police report is a lie, not the truth. What I'm saying. Number two, when Police Sergeant Michi here said that she admitted that there were serious lapses, I'd like to find out what the chief of police did to this. Serious lapses. And Sergeant Michi, yung bang pagkamatay ni Balot, serious lapse sa inyo yun? Buhay yun eh. Tama ho ba ako?
Your Honor, sorry po at nagkamali po
Dali
kami.
lang, buhay yun eh. Serious lapse lang ba sa iyo yan? Yun po ba ay serious lapse lang sa iyo ng pagkabaril mo at pagkapatay doon sa Mr. Balot? Is that serious lapse? So nothing should be done to it, Colonel Lintag? Nothing should be done to it? Did you file? What did the ES do to the memorandum you sent, Mr. Colonel Lintag? What did the ES do?
Sir,
Do you have the ES here, Mr. Chair?
We have the NAPOLCOM. I think the ES was not invited on today's hearing. CPD, you can ask PD. Malinaw.
Oh, sige.
Sir, good morning.
Colonel Malinaw.
Yes, sir. Right after the incident, upon seeing, initially, sir, this all started with a lie. It all started with the false reporting of the facts and circumstances of the case, initially through the spot report, so on and so forth, sir. Yun ang maintain nilang theory.
Mr. Chair, before you have any word, Mr. Chair, I would like to put on record that Colonel Malinaw has admitted that it all started with a lie.
Yes, duly noted, Congressman
Yes, sir.
Abante.
That's why
When we had the last committee hearing, Mr. Chair, I remember I do not know if it's in my committee or the Committee on Public Order that the ES admitted. Oh, I think it's in my committee. The ES admitted that they're only concerned about the administrative cases. But then the law says that they could be able to try the criminal aspect of the police in the report. So, Colonel Malinaw, so what did the ES do about it? Did they file both administrative case and a criminal case against your policemen?
Yes, sir. After the conduct of the investigation and with the records at hand during that time, the respondents, Lieutenant Colonel Lintag, and the 7 non-commissioned officers were cases of grave irregularity in the performance of duty and conduct unbecoming of a police officer were filed against them. For Colonel Lintag, a case of violation of doctrine of command responsibility or serious neglect of duty, sir, was filed against him.
Are they still active now, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Or have you confiscated their firearms?
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, they're under police restrictive custody based on the order issued by the regional headquarters. They're currently at the holding center, the provincial headquarters of Batangas. They're not with San Juan Municipal Police Station.
Is there a court case filed against them? Because only the courts can try criminal offenses. Am I right?
Yes, Your Honor, you're very correct. The criminal case was initially filed against them for the case of murder, but with the newly discovered evidence in the previous hearing, those will be incorporated during the ongoing preliminary investigation conducted by the Quezon Provincial Prosecutor's Office.
Colonel, I want to be enlightened because when you speak of murder versus homicide, murder is with malice, and murder
Yes,
is
sir.
already
Yes, sir.
an intention to kill.
Yes, sir.
Now, sinabi sa affidavit na to, she had no intention to kill. So that's not murder. Homicide yan.
Yes, sir.
So ibig sabihin, ito when you filed a case in court on murder, it will become a mistrial.
No, sir.
The Philippine National Police IAS will make it a mistrial because it is not murder.
Sir, she's entitled to the defense, no? But based on the initial investigation that we have conducted, since the numerous violations of prescribed rules in the conduct of anti-illegal drug operations were violated, and there were serious irregularity or non-adherence to prescribed rules. So that was our initial theory, sir, that the operation, there was never a bypass operations conducted.
I hope I can believe that. Attorney De Luna, will you please say something about that?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Regarding the case at hand, we have already received some reports about the conduct of investigation of the administrative and the criminal aspect. As to the administrative, Your Honor, ongoing po ito sa ating Philippine National Police. But with respect to the criminal case filed before the prosecutor's office, it was only revealed after a series of validation with some of the witnesses and complainants na it's not an issue of lapses, but if not deliberate, intentional omission of some facts. And upon our review of some documents, meron nga po talaga. And this is the reason why after the termination of this congressional inquiry, we still have the ongoing validation, and additional documents will also be examined by our office as to whether or not, as to the completeness of the evidence submitted by our investigators before the prosecutor's office would really convince us that the documents and other related evidence are intact or without any doubt. We do have some information, and I think our witnesses will be the one to state some of these facts kung ano po ba yung talagang hindi na ibigay nilang salaysay or impormasyon na dapat po ay nailagay doon sa pag-iimbestiga ng kasong ito. And in APOLCOM, on our part, Your Honor, we are consolidating this information. If there are cases to be filed or charges needs to be filed, we will also be recommending with the witnesses po. Kasi tama po yung naririnig po namin dito na kung mapuprove yung issue of use of impounded vehicles, then there are also police officers who would be liable separately using these impounded vehicles. If there are falsifications in the execution of their statements, meron pong in-include na police na hindi naman pala talaga kasama sa operation, then they will be liable kung bakit nila nilagay yung pangalan kung hindi sila kasali doon. And these are part of our ongoing validations of this information, Your Honor. Thank you po.
Thank you so much. Congressman Abante, if I may, no? We're just like to remind the members that hanggang 12:30 lang po tayo and that you would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman PM Vargas. May I be allowed
Mr. Chair,
to...
just one more question after this.
okay.
Just would like to find out, Colonel Lintag, if this is SOP in your station or in your own thinking that those cars that are impounded can be used by the police people for any situation that you have. Is that an SOP?
No, sir.
No. I'd like to find out from Colonel Malinaw. Do you allow that to happen?
No, sir. Because the subject vehicle, sir, is an object evidence from a previous crime filed by the said station.
And that ought not be used, right?
Yes, sir. It's under the purview of the court who handled
And
the case.
therefore, even if they ask permission from the chief of police, still, they cannot use that
Yes, sir.
because it's impounded.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'd like to find out what the Attorney Owen De Luna would say about that.
Yes, sir. They can be held liable.
So therefore, I think that at this point in time, Mr. Chair, that something must be done to it so that it will not be repeated anymore. Because if we are conducting a hearing on this, and DILG or the Philippine Nationals will still allow impounded vehicles to be used, what is the use of a hearing that we have right now? So therefore, you must act on this. Am I right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Therefore, Mr. Chair, act on this. Act on this, Colonel Malinaw.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir.
Right now, act on this.
Yes, sir.
Right now, make a memorandum that you cannot use impounded vehicles.
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much. Before I recognize Congressman Barbers and Congressman Acop for the last interpellation. Pidea, can you kindly confirm to us kung yung pangalan ni Balot ba yun? Ang pangalan? Brian Laresma? Brian Laresma is included doon sa PIDEA list. Para lang at least kasi the reason why we invited you is to confirm on the status, no?
With regards dun po sa subject po ng bypass, si alias Balot, Brian Ledesma, wala po siya sa listahan po ng PIDEA.
And also the time that they have coordinated with the PIDEA was from 7:45 of May 28 to 7:45 of May 29. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That is the supposed time of operation, sir.
Approved.
Yes, sir.
Or,
Approved.
approved time
Of operation. Yes, sir.
But they operated prior to that confirmation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because late sila nag-apply. Yeah, okay. Anyway, confirm na po yan. No? So, NBI, about din sa autopsy, ano po nakita po ninyo doon sa cadaver?
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair. Sir, the autopsy submitted by our medical legal officer, Dr. Melissa Gatchalian, stated on the second page of the medical legal report that the cause of death is a gunshot wound, thigh right. Your Honor.
Yeah, gunshot wound.
Sa kanang thigh po.
At ano yun, loss of blood.
Yes, Your Honor.
So can you kindly have have you have this kind of procedure na you can find out how many hours na ang na-involve na how many hours hindi yung pagkaubos ng dugo niya. Yes, ilang oras ka dapat maubusan ng dugo bago ka mamatay. So, because very crucial pong yung panahon na yun that they have said that dinala sa ospital nung alas 7, tapos namatay siya nung 7:09 So, do you have that kind of knowledge of how to measure yung time of loss of blood in relation to the death of that person?
Your Honor, considering that I am not a medical legal, I am not a doctor, but I believe that hemorrhagic shock will cause an immediate loss of life of an individual. When he sustained a wound that will immediately cause a very bad loss of blood, then he will surely die if he will not be subjected to an immediate medical intervention, Your Honor.
Okay. Sige, since hindi po kayo yung doctor na siguro, sino ba nagdala ng nung kay Brian doon sa ospital? Sino nagdala? Si De Chavez, no? Saka si Carpio, saka si Trinidad, di ba? So from the time na from the bridge, so dinala nyo doon sa district hospital, di ba? Meron kasi isang hospital doon yung San Juan Hospital, Doctors Hospital, na 2 kilometers away. Pero dinala nyo siya doon sa 4 kilometers away. Why? Ano reason doon?
Your Honor, mas nakasanayan po namin na doon magdala sa public hospital. Unang-una po ay sa private po ay may kalimitan po ay iniintay nila yung immediate family saka yung mga other requirements, Your Honor.
Pero nakita nyo naman yung di ba, yung victim na nandoon na umaagos yung dugo, gano'n.
Opo, sir, pero
Naglagay ba kayo ng first aid na tinakpan nyo yung kanyang paa o whatever?
Si Patrolman Carpio.
Paano yung dugo niya? Talagang umaawas or something like that?
Tinakpan po ni Patrolman Carpio ng kanyang kamay.
So how many minutes away from the bridge na nakarating kayo sa ospital?
More or less 10 minutes, Your Honor.
10 minutes. And it's like 4.5 kilometers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Di ba? 4.5 kilometers, 10 minutes. And I was wondering, dapat pag ganun kasing emergency, di ba? I mean, dapat ang dala nyo doon sa pinakamalapit na Doon sa San Juan Doctors Hospital, doon nyo sana dinala. Imbis na dinala nyo sa San Juan District Hospital. 2 kilometers is so crucial in the life of that person. Di ba? Kasi nga, nag-aantay kayo ng oras well, I really don't know. Let the court decide on that. But in here, what we wanted to find out is siguro, before that, sige, maglalas ako doon sa mga victims, Congressman Barbers, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Maiksi lang po ito. I just wanted to redirect the direction of the committee when we finally write our committee report. Mr. Chairman, nakita natin dito sa insidenteng ito, at ito hindi ito ngayon lang nangyari. Maraming lapses in the operations, maraming omissions in the reporting, at higit sa lahat, maraming illegal na ginawa doon sa operations na ito. Number 1, gumamit sila ng vehicle na parte ng ebidensya ng isang krimen na nangyari. which is a clear violation. Number 2, may nagtanim ng baril at saka nagtanim ng droga. Apparently, this is what's coming out from the affidavits executed by the Philippine National Police members. No? Number 3, there was a clear omission of the facts and the truth in the conduct of this operation. Kasi gumawa sila ng bagong narrative eh. Gumawa sila, pinilit nilang maging legal yung isang illegal at hindi tamang operasyon sa anti-drug, illegal drugs operation. So, pinakamabigat dito, syempre, yung planting of evidence. Ito, hindi lang ito nangyari dito sa Laguna. Marami ng instances where this planting of evidence was being used to justify an illegal, anti-illegal drugs operation. Ano ho ang punto ko, Mr. Chairman? My point is that when we write this committee report, we should clearly state that all the commanders of the Philippine National Police, from the regional director down to their provincial directors, down to their ACPs, is that what they call it? The area commanders? The APCs, no? Dapat very clear, sabihan ninyo ang inyong mga patrolman, ang inyong mga master sergeant, ang inyong mga tao sa ilalim ninyo na bawal gumamit ng ebidensya na naka-impound sa kanilang area. Bawal mag-planting ng ebidensya, which is, I think we should really insist on this eh. Continuous education na lang. Kasi meron pong matitigas ang ulo eh. Na alam naman nila na illegal magplanta ng ebidensya pero ginagawa pa rin nila. For whatever motivation, we don't know. Yung iba, sinasabi nila, kasi kailangan may performance tayo. Kailangan meron tayong accomplishment. No? So kung ganun ang motivation, palagay ko walang mangyayari dito sa ating anti-illegal drugs operation na ito. Mauubos ang ating kapulisan. Walang maiiwan. Marami hong matitinong pulis. Iilan lamang ho yung mga bugok dyan. Iilan lang yung mga scalawags dyan. And I'm sure the top commanders are doing something about this. But again, as I stated earlier, hindi dapat mawala ng accountability yung mga tao na lumabag sa batas at higit sa lahat, kumuha ng buhay ng isang tao. Yan ho, I hope, Mr. Chairman, that in the crafting of our committee report, this particular issue must be given a profound attention in this committee report for the reason that this should never happen anymore. At sabi lamang po sa ating mga commanders na alam nyo yung Republic Act 9165, napakaklaro ho doon sa Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act na ang lead agency dito pagka anti-illegal drug operation ay ang PIDEA. Hindi ho yung mag-drug bust kayo, magre-raid kayo, pagka natapos na, tsaka nyo sasabihan yung PIDEA para ma-justify yung inyong ginawa. Hindi ho ganon ang intensyon ng batas. Ang intensyon ng batas ay ang dapat manguna sa laban sa illegal na droga ang PIDEA in close coordination with our law enforcement agencies, specifically the Philippine National Police. So, Mr. Chairman, yung punto ng planting of evidence, paggamit ng mga ebidensya na mali, yung paggagawa ng report na scripted, yung gumagawa ng kwento na hindi naman katotohanan, at syempre yung sinasabi natin na ang anti-illegal drugs operation must be closely coordinated with PIDEA. Kagaya ho niyan, may nagbuwis ng buhay. Nagtuturoan tayo ngayon. Tinanong ko, naalala nyo, nung huling hearing, ang tanong ko, kayo ba ay nag-coordinate sa PIDEA? Ang sabi nyo, 6:25, may nag-fax. At yun ang kinonfirm ng PIDEA, di po ba?
6:36, sir.
6:36. Sinabi nyo 6:36. 6:20 may nangyari ng insidente, correct? Kasi apparently the medical legal records states that the victim was shot between 6:20 p.m. Ano ba yun? 6:20 ba yun? 6:36 yung fax message eh. The message was sent 6:36 p.m., correct?
Yes po, Your Honor.
4:25, base dun sa video pinakita ni Chairman, napapunta na doon yung green na kotse at saka yung pulang kotse. Nagkaroon ng insidente at 6:20. So lahat natapos na prior to the reporting or coordinations with PIDEA. So that was a clear violation of the law. So I hope this will become an institutional educational program for all police personnel, lalo na po yung mga nag-i-implement na mga nasa ilalim. So the commanders will be tasked and must include this in their daily briefings if that is necessary. So, Mr. Chairman, having said all this, I do hope that in our committee report, this will be profoundly stated in this committee report. That's all. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chairman Barbers, and would like to acknowledge the presence of our friend, Congressman Kit Flores, and Congressman Plato. Ay, si Congressman Plato, our friend. So, dito na po ang ating Congressman, Chairman ng Transportation, Congressman Acop, our spiritual advisor. Okay, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sergeant Macaraig.
Yes, sir.
Ikaw bang head ng DEU ng San Juan Police Station?
Yes, sir.
O ikaw ang head?
Team leader, Your Honor.
I beg your pardon?
Team leader po, Your Honor.
Hindi. Yung opisina na DEU ng San Juan Police Station, sino ang boss doon?
Bali, sir, ako po ay Intel PNCO kasama po sa DEU at saka sa Warrant PNCO po, sa senior officer.
Walang opisyal na assign doon?
Dati po, sir, ay meron, kaso kailangan po ng approval pa galing sa PIDEA ng DEU. Ay narilib po yung dati naming deputy, kaya wala pa pong order yung bagong deputy po, Your Honor.
So, ang ibig mong sabihin, dadalawa lang opisyal ng San Juan Police Station, yung Chief of Police at saka yung Assistant Police Chief?
Bali po, sir, may dumating, nung una po dadalawa po, tapos may dumating pa pong kapitan na babae po, Your Honor.
PD, why is that? Sila ng operation, hindi pinapaalam sa Chief of Police?
Recording in progress.
No, sir.
Ano?
Hindi po, sir.
Hindi. So, dapat ipaalam.
Sir.
Ito bang operation na ito, pinaalam ninyo sa inyong Chief of Police?
Your Honor, after po nung mangyari...
Sagutin mo yung tanong ko. Ang tanong ko sa iyo, ito bang operation na sinagawa po ninyo ay ipinaalam mo muna sa iyong Chief of Police bago nyo ginawa yung operation? Importante yun eh.
Hindi po, Your Honor.
Hindi. So, ibig mong sabihin, ikaw mismo ang lahat ng nagdesisyon na gagawa kayo ng operation laban kay Brian Laresma. Ikaw lahat.
Yes, sir. No,
Ikaw ang nag-isip lahat.
Kasama po yung mga kasamahan ko na makatanggap po ng information, Your Honor.
Hindi, ikaw ang boss eh. Umiiwas ka kaagad eh. Iho. Ikaw ang boss ng DEU. Di ba?
Yes, sir.
So, ikaw ang dapat nakakaalam lahat ng operation ng DEU, di ba?
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, kasama ka nga sa operation eh. Nandun ka sa area. Tapos sa affidavit mo, gusto mo pang umiwas. Ikaw ang principal, may kasalanan ito. Kasi ikaw ang nag-isip lahat eh. Yung unang istorya na tinanong ni Chairman Abante, Ikaw ang gumawa nito. Ang presumption ay ikaw ang gumawa ng istorya na yon. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Ikaw ang nagplano. Nung may nangyari, ikaw ang gumawa ng istorya. Pero dito sa affidavit ninyo, hindi pa rin ako kontento na nagsasabi kayo ng totoo. Kasi, hindi nyo sinasabi sa akin, o dito sa committee na ito, yung sino talaga yung asset na nagsabi na nandun na si Brian Laresma doon sa lugar. Yung kapatid ba ni Sergeant Trinidad o yung sinasabi ni Sergeant Perez na asset niya na hindi naman yata dumating according to my information? Alin ang totoo?
Yung asset po na sinasabi ni Sergeant Perez.
Ha?
Yung asset po na sinasabi ni Sergeant Perez, Your Honor.
Sino yung asset na sinasabi ni Sergeant Perez? Iba ba siya doon sa kapatid ni... Sino na yung investigador? Ni Franklin Trinidad?
Iba pa po, Your Honor.
Iba. Hindi ba ang kwan is... teka, nagsabit na ba kayo ng pangalan ng asset pala?
Submitted na po, sir, with the COMSEC. Sir.
Yung official siya na asset.
Yes, sir.
Na-interview mo na ba, Hepe, ay PD?
No, sir.
Eh bakit hindi nyo tinatanong kung totoo yung sinasabi ng mga taga San Juan?
Sir, we just called the records coming from our intelligence branch, yung S2 namin.
Yeah, but
Yes, sir.
kung yung mga tao mo sinasabi na yun ang asset nila, nakausap ni the late Brian Laresma, bakit hindi nyo i-verify kung totoo? Kasi nagtataka ako, bakit napasama ka agad sa istorya yung kapatid ni Sergeant Trinidad? Yes. At nandun sa mga affidavit, dito na nabasa ko, yung kapatid ni Sergeant Trinidad kumukuha ng basura doon kay Brian Laresma allegedly. Pumasok sa affidavit yun eh. Kung babasahin mo yung bagong affidavit na binigay. Oh. Kaya ko tinatanong, sino talaga yung asset na ginamit? Kasi ang iniisip ko, yung asset na totoo, hindi dumating. Ang tumawag ang nagsabi na nandun si Brian Larenas ay si Franklin Trinidad. Oh, alin ang totoo? Magsabi kayo ng totoo. Hindi nyo, kulang itong affidavit ninyo eh. Kung bubuuin ko yung istorya, wala mga ito. Sino? Kasi kung hindi, mapipilitan kaming ipatawag yung asset. Hindi kayo magsasabi ng totoo? Sergeant Macaray?
Sir, yung asset po talaga, bukod po yung sa kapatid ni Trinidad, ni Sergeant Trinidad.
When you say, kung sinasabi mo bukod doon sa kapatid ni Sergeant Trinidad, anong ibig sabihin? Anong participation ni Franklin Trinidad yan? Hindi naman siya pulis.
Bali, sir, nakita nung time na yon na papunta doon yung kapatid ni Sergeant Trinidad na monitor din po niya ng kanyang kapatid.
Ikaw
Na ito
naman,
ay
iho.
kukuha din
Ibig
po
sabihin, mere coincidence yung sinasabi mo. Nagkataon. Ha? Ganun ba?
Hindi, sir. Dahil na-monitor din, sir, nung umaga na nanggaling na, sir, doon. Itong kapatid po ni Sergeant Trinidad ay kaya po pinamonitor uli po namin sa kanya na baka sakaling bumalik ito nung hapon, Your Honor.
Okay. Meron pa isang kulang. Anong oras talaga nangyari yung barilan?
Humigit kumulang, Your Honor, mga 6:36 po ang gabi.
At ang tunay na nangyari, dumating yung kayo, nakasakay sa green na sasakyan, nakita kayo ni Brian, tumakbo siya, binaril mo naman, Sergeant Perez, di po ba? Kaya ang tama niya sa likod ng paa. Tama. Kasi yun naman ang istorya talaga eh. Pero, ang ginawa ninyo, gumawa kayo ng paraan, kagaya ng sabi ni Chairman Barbers, nung nabaril nyo siya, ginawa nyo ng paraan na maging legitimate yung operation ninyo. Kasi magmula sa umpisa, mali na eh. Di ba, Sergeant Macaraeg? Tama? Kaya nagtataka ako, 636 din yung pag-receive ng PDEA ng inyong coordination. Paano nangyari yun? Sino nagpadala ng coordination sa PDEA? Kasi true facts ba yun na PDEA yung coordination nila?
Yes po, sir. True facts po.
So, eksakto yung oras na pag-receive po ninyo.
May I be corrected, sir? Email po pala. Email.
Email. So, eksakto yung oras ng pag-receive. Nandun yung time eh.
Yes po, sir.
Yes. Kung 6:36 ang pag-receive ng PDEA doon sa inyong email for coordination, 6:36 din, sabi ninyo sa inyong mga affidavit, saka pagsagot nyo sa akin na nangyari yung barilan. Paano nangyari yun? Sino makakasagot po sa aking katanungan? Paano nangyari yun? Kasi yung istorya ninyo, maski sa affidavit ninyo, hindi nga ako naniniwala eh. Hindi ako naniniwala. Sabi nyo nung last time, gagawa na kayo ng affidavit na katotohanan ang ilalagay ninyo. Pero hindi pa rin katotohanan yung nilalagay ninyo kasi normal naman yun eh. Naiiwas ninyo yung sarili ninyo. Kasi yun eh normal. Instinct of self-preservation. Pero nangako kayo dito sa committee na ito na sasabihin nyo na yung buong katotohanan. Yung sinasabi nyo katotohanan, kulang po eh. Kulang. Hindi pa rin nyo sinasabi yung buong katotohanan. Yun ang nakikita ko dito sa lahat ng affidavit na binigay nyo rito eh. And, Mr. Chair, since hindi naman nila ako masagot ngayon eh, mukhang totoo yung aking sinasabi eh.
Actually, are you done, Chairman?
No, gusto ko
Not
lang.
yet. Okay, go ahead.
I'll go to the Chief of Police. PD, kilala po ba yung hepe mo?
I've known him since we were in Laguna, provincial police officer.
So you had the occasion to work with him.
He was the investigation officer of Laguna PNP, while during that time, sir, I was the chief of police of Calamba City.
Ikaw ba ang pumili sa kanya para maging hepe ng San Juan?
No, sir, nadatnan ko na lang po, sir.
Naratnan mo na lang siya.
Yes, sir.
Kasi, if you had had the occasion of working with him, then you would have known his capability. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir.
Oo. So, matanong kita, having known him, kung ikaw ang masusunod, siya bang gagawin mong hepe?
No, sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
And maybe you have your own reasons.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I will not venture to ask already the reasons kasi alam ko na rin siguro yan. Colonel Intal, could you please define to me the phrase command responsibility?
Sir, sa doctrine ng command responsibility po, sir, dapat lahat, sir, ng nangyayari sa unit, sir, ay alam dapat ng commander po, sir.
Kaya ka pala nakakalintik-lintik eh. Ang doctrine of command responsibility states that a commander is supposed to be responsible for whatever his men would do and would fail to do. Dito sa nangyaring ito, wala kang kaalam-alam. Doon pa lang, ay may problema ka na sa command responsibility. So, I think, PD, I think you know what to do. And you would know the charges that will be filed against him administratively. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Exactly. And under Executive Order number 226, Section 1, precisely, neglect of duty under the doctrine of command responsibility. Ayan, babasahin ko. Any government official or supervisor or officer of the Philippine National Police or that of any other law enforcement agency shall be held accountable for neglect of duty under the doctrine of command responsibility. If he has knowledge that a crime or offense shall be committed, is being committed, or has been committed by his subordinates or by others within his area of responsibility, and despite such knowledge, he did not take preventive or corrective action either before, during, or immediately after its commission. And that's the reason why we have a investigation like this, because we wanted to find out if all the laws and orders that were executed by the different agencies are being implemented. And we haven't seen any wrong with the laws that we have right now. Only that rule governing the transfer of the members of our PNP to their place of where they were born. Yun yung ating tinitingnan ng mga advantage and disadvantages, and would like to direct the PNP, especially Chief PNP Marbil, na sana po ma-consider itong mga ganitong mga klase ng transfer of our PNP. I think it's high time that we have to review that ruling of the PNP. Kasi pag binabasa ko itong Executive Order number 226, saka yung 9165 ba yan? Wala akong masyadong makitang need to be amended. It's more of the implementation of the law. Strict implementation and the guidance of the superior of the areas. Nasa inyo nasa leader, nasa hepe, nasa PD, nasa RD. Di ba? Encourage your men to accomplish a lot of things, but in a right way. Di ba? Ang sabi ng Presidente, labanan natin, lagi natin labanan ang mali at masama, at lagi nating ipagtanggol ang tama at mabuti. So, yun ang sinabi niya. So, lastly, dahil mag-start na po yung ating second issue, andyan po si Congressman Alan Reyes, si Congresswoman Luistro, si Congressman Jojo Lara, and siguro bago natin patapusin, sige, pagbigyan ko lang muna yung mga biktima natin na nandito, I think karapat-dapat lamang po na kayo po ay bigyan ng pagkakataon para magkaroon po ng huling pananalita, because we are closing this issue. We have already tackled a lot of things, and basically we have found out that there are certain elements of our PNP organization that committed a grave abuse of authority. And I know that the PNP will do their part in order to merit the right penalty. Sige, sa mga may manifestation si Congressman Caraps. Sige. Pwede rin. Sige, bigyan muna natin pagkakataon. You want to say something sa ating pong mga biktima? wala na po ba kayong sasabihin before we end? Because we will put a closure on the issue of San Juan. And I hope that, kasi alam nyo, sa totoo lang, ang dami namin hinihiring dito na hindi namin mabigyan ng closure kasi nga sa dami po ng mga resolutions and bills that we have to discuss, we need to close this one. So kung meron po kayong sasabihin, this is your moment, please.
Ayan, gusto ko lang pong magpasalamat sa komitibang ito sa pagdinig po sa kaso po ni Brian Laresma. At lumabas po ang katotohanan dito po sa pagdinig na ito. At sana po, ang pakiusap lang po namin dun sa mga PNP, wag nyo na po sanang kausapin si Brian tungkol sa mga kung ano ng mga salaysay. Mayroon na po kaming sariling attorney, Adrian, mayroon na po kaming sariling attorney na sila na po ang sasagot sa lahat ng query ninyo. Yun lang po at maraming salamat po at sana po ay makamit din namin ang katarungan pagdating sa korte.
And the President himself said, lagi po nating mahalin ang Pilipinas at mahalin ang mga Pilipino. Anyway, all right. So, Congressman Caraps, you have last manifestation. And after this, we will be suspending the hearing for a few minutes. For those who are not involved on the POGO issue, you can leave in a while. And then those who are the resource speakers for the POGO are invited to go inside. Okay, Congressman Carap.
Chairman, last na lang, Chairman. Kasi, Chairman, medyo nakakalito lang because the name, yun nga, sinabi ni Chairman Acop, but of course, it's up to the investigation of the provincial director, no? And of course, the IAS, with regards to the person named Franklin Trinidad, because during the previous hearing, as I have observed with Sergeant Trinidad, when asked about when you presented, no, as some data with regards to a certain Franklin Trinidad, and the confirmed that indeed it was his brother, medyo may mga ano doon na parang pinagtatakpan. Now, ang problema dito, Mr. Chairman, yung question of the theory that Chairman Acop raised a while ago, that question of the presence of the asset or this certain Franklin Trinidad is being used by the police. Now, that's number one, Mr. Chairman. And second, Mr. Chairman, yung question of yung kay Colonel, no, yung sa Chief of Police. Until now, I am not yet satisfied with the answer of Makaraig, no, with regards to that. And of course, yung tinanong ko kanina na if indeed may dalawang sachet na nakuha si Perez, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
So, but Mr. Chairman, I think if may I suggest, Mr. Chairman, that investigation of PD and IAS with regards to this incident, now we'll focus with this certain Franklin for this committee, for those questions by this committee to be answered, PD, no? Kasi ito ngayon yung missing eh. Itong si Franklin, medyo pinagtatakpan ng kapatid on the last hearing. Now, and dito sa affidavit ni Makaraig, lumabas yung pangalan. Kaya nga, medyo nagduda rin ako dun sa statement ni Chairman Acop na wala yung asset. Ito yung Franklin. But of course, PD, I will not go deeper on that. It's up to you to investigate na lang po and justify this person. Why is he in the affidavit of Makaraig? Okay? Now, second, Mr. Chairman, isa pang problema is with regards to the PDEA watch list. Now, wala yun sa watch list. Now, it's now a question again of the motive. Kung wala doon, bakit inoperate? Diba? Bakit inoperate yung balot? Kaya tinatanong ko si Perez, paulit-ulit yung question sa Shea. Kasi wala daw, sabi ni PDEA, wala sa watch list. And if he's not in the watch list, bakit niya inoperate? Now, kung nasa record niyo yun, record ng police. Kasi usually that is the justification of the police. And then nasa record po namin, but you are obliged. Diba? You are obliged to report it on record sa PDEA. Kaya nga nagko-coordinate tayo sa PDEA. Diba? Before the operation, we coordinate with PDEA doon sa pre-ops kasi kailangan ma-validate din if indeed a certain bayog, a balot, is indeed with the watch list of PDEA. Ngayon, ang tanong dito, kung hindi siya watchlist, no, I am not concluding that he's not a pusher or a selling drugs. No? But what I'm saying is, kung hindi siya talaga nasa watchlist, hindi siya talaga pusher, anong motibo? Ba't inoperate nyo? Diba? That's still a question that should be answered in this committee. Para po doon sa committee report na gawin namin, especially ng chairman, at least po ma-detalye namin the involvement of those persons, no? And explanation why Balot was not in the PDEA, still the operative of San Juan Police Station operates Balot. And eventually, unfortunately, namatay yung Balot. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, para magkaroon ng clarity yung yung isang issue nung tungkol kay Franklin. I think the very issue in there was dalawa yung dalawa yung kanilang parang isa meron silang asset. Yung kapatid naman ni Jefferson Trinidad allegedly involved sa using of drugs and at the same time buying. Sinundan nila yon si Franklin Trinidad, but meron silang isang asset also that will magpo-pose as a posture buyer. Unfortunately, nagpang-abot na doon sa tulay, kaya halos lahat na-adjust Inaantay nila yung sa PDEA, hindi dumarating, kaya nung nalaman nila si Franklin na andun sa tulay, doon na pumasok yung sila Makaraig. I really don't know, no? Binasa ko lang yung inyong affidavit. And basically, yun yung nakita ko, no? And yun na nga yung sinasabi ko kanina, yung involvement nung kapatid, because they were assigned doon sa munisipyo na kung saan merong pamilya, merong mga kaibigan. And basically, yung procedure ng PNP na ibalik sila dahil nga nakakatipid tayo, tapos nagkakaroon ng sama-sama yung mga pamilya. But in here, na-involve din yung feeling doon sa criminal activity nung kanyang kapatid. So somehow, nagano tayo ngayon doon sa batas or sa ruling ng ating PNP on how to deal with this. Di ba? Kaya nagkaroon ng ganong emotion si Sergeant Trinidad, and that have to be corrected by the PNP. Dito sa inyong executive order or whatever ruling the PNP have, kailangan nating ayusin to. So, I hope that the organization of the PNP will be submitting to this Congress some new procedures on this policy that are being implemented by the PNP organization. I think we have served our purpose. The committee have find out that there are certain rules that have to be amended, like for that one. But Executive Order number 226, the Republic Act 91665 is so strong that needs no amendment. Implementation lamang po. So, with that, ang ating members, maraming po salamat. And we will be suspending our hearing on this issue. And we will be proceeding to the next item of our agenda, which is the investigation on Pogo. So maraming po salamat to all those who have attended, the resource persons. Maraming po salamat sa inyo, and this hearing motion is temporarily suspended.